Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We have a fascinating story to share with you, one that takes us to the island nation of Cyprus, where a remarkable individual has left an indelible mark on the country's history. Former Cypriot President George Vassiliou has passed away, leaving behind a legacy of dedication to public service and a commitment to reunifying the divided island. Born in 1931, Vassiliou was raised by pro-communist parents who were activists during the Greek Civil War. He went on to study medicine and economics, eventually earning a doctorate from the University of Economics in Budapest. Vassiliou's career took a dramatic turn when he returned to Cyprus in 1962 and began building a successful business empire. He founded the Middle East Market Research Bureau, which grew to have offices in 30 countries across the Middle East, South Africa, and Eastern Europe. His entrepreneurial spirit and charisma eventually led him to politics, where he was elected president of Cyprus in 1988 as an independent candidate supported by the Communist Party, aka. During his presidency, Vassiliou implemented significant reforms, including introducing a sales tax, slashing income taxes, and streamlining the civil service. He also established the first Cyprus University and abolished the state monopoly on electronic media. One of his most notable achievements was applying for full membership to the European Union, a goal that was finally achieved 13 years later. Vassiliou's commitment to reunifying Cyprus was unwavering, despite the challenges he faced during his presidency. He relaunched stalled negotiations with Turkish Cypriot leader Rauf Denktaş, but unfortunately, they ended in an impasse that continues to this day. Cyprus remains divided, with the internationally recognized Greek-speaking South and the Turkish-speaking North still separated. Throughout his life, Vassiliou received numerous honors and decorations from countries around the world, including France, Italy, Austria, Portugal, and Egypt. He authored several books on EU issues and Cypriot politics, and was a member of several international bodies, including the Shimon Peres Institute of Peace. As we reflect on George Vassiliou's remarkable life and legacy, we are reminded of the importance of dedication, perseverance, and a commitment to public service. His story serves as an inspiration to us all, and his impact on Cyprus will be felt for generations to come. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a complex and developing story that has the world watching with bated breath. The ongoing protests in Iran have taken a dramatic turn, with reports of brutal suppression by the regime and potential hangings of dissidents. U.S. President Donald Trump has inserted himself into the situation, publicly supporting the protesters and hinting at possible military intervention. Now, it's essential to understand that this is a highly sensitive and volatile situation, with multiple stakeholders involved. The Iranian regime, led by Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, is facing unprecedented pressure from its citizens, who are demanding reform and an end to human rights abuses. Meanwhile, the international community is torn between condemning the regime's actions and avoiding any moves that could escalate the conflict. President Trump's involvement has added another layer of complexity to the situation. His tweets and public statements have been interpreted as a mix of support for the protesters and warnings to the Iranian regime. While some argue that his intervention could embolden the protesters and put pressure on the regime, others believe it could lead to further instability and even military action. It's crucial to consider the historical context and the potential consequences of any actions taken by the U.S. or other countries. Airstrikes, for instance, have a mixed record in achieving their intended goals, and there's a risk of unintended consequences, such as civilian casualties or retaliatory attacks. As we continue to monitor this situation, it's essential to prioritize fairness, balance, and accuracy in our reporting. We must avoid taking sides or promoting any particular agenda, instead focusing on providing our listeners with a comprehensive understanding of the complexities at play. The world is watching Iran, and the stakes are high. Will the regime succumb to pressure, or will it continue to crack down on dissent? What role will the international community play in shaping the outcome? These are just some of the questions we'll be exploring in the days and weeks to come. Welcome back to Barbarous Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I want to bring to your attention a developing story that highlights the complexities of international politics and immigration. The recent ousting of Venezuelan President Maduro has sparked mixed reactions around the world, but for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans who have fled their home country in search of safety and stability, the situation remains precarious. According to reports, many Venezuelans who have sought asylum or temporary protected status in the United States are now facing uncertainty about their future. Despite the change in leadership, they fear that returning to Venezuela would put them at risk of persecution, violence, and economic hardship. In fact, some have reported being targets of paramilitaries and regime loyalists, making it difficult for them to feel safe even with Maduro gone. The Trump administration's decision to revoke temporary protected status for Venezuelans has added to the anxiety, leaving many in limbo as they await the outcome of court challenges. Meanwhile, immigration arrests and deportations have increased, further fueling fears among those seeking to build a new life in the United States. I spoke with several Venezuelan asylum seekers who shared their stories of struggle and resilience. They described the difficulties of adapting to a new country, finding work, and rebuilding their lives from scratch. Despite the challenges, they remain hopeful that one day they will be able to return to a safe and stable Venezuela, but for now, they are focused on making a new life for themselves in America. As we consider the complexities of this situation, it's essential to approach the issue with empathy and understanding. The fate of these individuals is not just a matter of politics, it's a human story that deserves our attention and compassion. As we navigate the intricacies of international relations and immigration policy, let's remember the faces and stories behind the headlines. That's all for today's Barbarous Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.